for another group ride today, but I'm not doing a group ride video. I wanted to talk about something else. It was a video that I had done a little while ago, and now that it's finally done, I can do the conclusion on everything that has to do with it. I did a video, I don't know, probably around a month or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, about Tom Brady, the Patriots, and Deflategate. And Tom Brady just recently came out and said that he was no longer going to appeal the decision that came down from the lower court. His only recourse that he had left was to go to the Supreme Court. The reason why I think he did not do this was most likely due to the fact that the Supreme Court was probably not going to hear the case anyway. It was probably going to get thrown out with all the other cases the Supreme Court has as far as the importance of it, what was going on with Deflategate in the NFL in the eyes of the nation and the Supreme Court just wasn't that important. And I think Tom Brady probably knew that. He may have been sick of the whole appeals process and everything else, so he just put the kibosh to it and put it to rest. So basically, the Patriots are going to go the first 4 games of the season without Brady. I'm sure that Belichick and the team have been planning for this since the very beginning, knowing that this very well could be the case, regardless of what would happen in the court systems until all of the appeals processes have been used up. Because the NFL used their hand last time, which in turn gave the 4-game suspension back to Brady. So we'll have to see what their game plan is. They do have some division games within those 4. My honest opinion is if they can come out of this at 2-2 or better, would be the ideal situation, then that would be great. I mean, they've started out worse than 2-2 and made Super Bowl runs and won Super Bowls with worse starts than 2-2. They could go 1-3 or they could go 0-4. 0-4 obviously being the worst case scenario. I would rather, I would rather have them be able to pull at least 2 games out of it. That puts them in a good spot. It's early on in the season where they can make up any ground that they may have lost. My only concern is that even though I think Brady stays in great football shape as far as his mental awareness and physical ability to play the game, it's always hard coming back from the off season and being 4 games into the season. I just hope that he comes back, playing at his best ability, because I've seen other years in the past where the first 4 weeks or sometimes even longer have been really rough, but that's also been a team thing and not just a Brady issue. So hopefully the team is coming together and gelling as an offense and a defense. But the hard part too is that during those 4 weeks he can't practice with the team at all. So he's not going to have any time to play with new receivers or anything like that. But it's going to be one of those things that they're going to have to pick it up really quick, because they can't afford 4 games without him and then another 3 or 4 weeks of trying to get everything to work and click, because by then you're getting towards the halfway point of the season, and that's not where you want things to be clicking. You want it to be happening well before that point. The unfortunate reality is that as much as Brady wants to say that he wants to play 3, 4, 5, 6 more years, I've seen varying numbers on this. Eventually, age and time are going to catch up to him and he's going to have to leave. I honestly think that he has 1 or 2 Super Bowls left in him, but it all depends on who they surround him with on the offensive and defensive side. They very well could pull out a Super Bowl win this season or next year, but it all depends on personnel and injuries and everything else, because that's always the biggest unknown, is how many injuries are you going to get in from who and for how long. And that's something you can't avoid, but you can only hope for the best. But I would really like to see him pull away with a 5th Super Bowl ring before he hangs up his helmet and calls it a career.